Yes, yes. Welcome to the ancient world of tabletop games. I am Agamemnon from the historical documentary Time Bandits. This is a report from a fugitive.
Them as dies first'll be the lucky ones. Oh, ahoy there, shrimpmates. My spyglass were pointing in the other direction. Pay no never mind to the scurvy talk I had with the first mate, Mr. Anderson. Though truth to tell, he be the second first mate on this voyage after a slight accident involving his predecessor. Aharrr. The bell tolls a year since I set out on this voyage of discovery. Aye, it be 365 days afore the mast, and we must return to the solemn vow I made. A promise it were, spit upon a scarred hand, crossed with silver and sealed in wax, which is why I wear gloves, see? I vowed ne'er to perform an unboxing video while sailing this here channel, and blow it all if I didn't go and unbox a game on the very first video out of harbour. But this here video bain't be no unboxing, shrimpmates. Why, that be gallows talk. Nay, for this here educational tract be an anti-unboxing for fear of steering the ship onto the jagged rocks of Spoiler Cove. I bain't be no Spoiler Cove, see, and you can lay to that. Now be ye asking me if I be the type of piratical cove to throw down a treasure chest for ye to gawp at? Aye, ye be asking. Nay, not I, says I to ye by way of reply. Why, no, me hearties. For I be the type of piratical cove to throw down a treasure chest and take it back afore any years can lay hands to it. In an unboxing video, why, I'd set the spoils of war afore ye right proper. But that ain't the way of it. If you wish to avoid a dainty necktie dance at execution dock, and if you have any doubts over the fatality of venturing too close a peek at a treasure, why, you need only take the words of Billy Bones here, named for the dice he rolled for sure. Old Bones heeded the siren call and went to sea in search of the Sinister Silver edition of the Dungeons & Dragons adventure, Ghosts of Saltmarsh. And he ruined it all by posting spoilers on the main mast, with his dagger, and a scroll made from the backside of a leprous cabin boy. Well, we gave the black spot to Billy Bones for that, and there he rests on a locker owned by one Davy Jones. Aye, here be treasure, though it needn't be for the likes of us. Why, you can sail a sea or two out of the entire 7 seas and trade your way to a copy of Ghosts of Saltmarsh without much ado, to be sure. But that first-rate prize booty, the Sinister Silver edition, why, it weighs in at the cost of the hardback copy at 6 3/4 times over, and it be in rare quantities right enough. So ask yourselves if you want a piece of that hoard afore you go sailing off in search of loot. As for me, why, I obtained a copy by piratical means. I mean to say by practical means, begging your pardon. So I shows a glimpse of it to ye, and in doing so I tells a tale. It is a tale of wondering if these merchants, Mr. Beadle and Dr. Grimm, the bodysnatchers and grave robbers by rumour, have anything to offer ye in terms of adventuring. I was too late to board the first voyage, a platinum collection so deep in water it were called water deep. Wondering what all the fuss were about, I circumnavigated the globe in search of a cheaper alternative. Mr. Beadle dug up a few corpses and passed them on to Dr. Grimm for the anatomy lessons, and soon they were back in action with a smaller, cheaper box, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, for the cost of 6 3/4 copies of the regular version. What did I purchase? Why, I was granted governorship of Jamaica, and enough rum to knock a narwhal senseless. Make no bones about it, shrimpmates. This silver edition of a regular adventure be a luxury item. I'd see a small crew emerging their fortunes to chip in for a luxury package of that nature, each sailor purchasing a share. I bought it for this channel, and with good reason. Oh, I could watch an unboxing or 3 and be impressed or unimpressed as I pleases, but you never quite knows with treasure until you lays tooth to the gold on it. Well, I took me a bite, a morsel, you might say, in anticipation of setting sail for larger booty. Would I buy me up a crate of goods under normal sail? No, says I. Yet here I navigates a gaming channel, and I must be equipped for all weathers. I set foot in the dock, and I plied me trade, coming away with a box in a Hessian sack, or what they calls a burlap bag in the Americas. One eye I had on the Ghosts of Saltmarsh, and the other I had on a prize piece of booty a little more fanciful than that. I means another platinum crate of goods over in the direction of Baldur's Gate. Would I buy myself a big platinum box based on what lay inside the smaller silver offering? That's what we're here to gab about, you sinners, so hearken well. Dungeons and Dragons be a game about the imagination, shrimpmates. I've played the game down in the cheap seats, and I'm here to tell you that this sort of item is never required, though often desired. It'd be a limited desire, though, specifically one cargo hold of 1,000 boxes and no more. You need never set eyes on a box or lay midst to one. It's 6 3/4 coins for the silver box against every single coin for the hardback, though that takes into account an ocean voyage and the dreaded depredations of Custom House. If you lived across the street from Mr. Beadle and Dr. Grimm, I'd wager you'd pay a slimmer penny for the vagaries of shipping. Why, Dr. Grimm is only like to charge half a kidney. Those tales of body snatching and grave robbery be nothing more than rumours dressed up against the cold in layers of evidence, which we need not dwell upon here. Let us move to tales of pirate lads and pirate lasses. In my time I sailed with Calico Jack Rackham and Anne Bonny herself, and I consider Anne Bonny to be the slipperiest pirate of the two. It ain't Calico Jack's fault that he can't plead a bellyache to stave off the hangman's rope a month or 9, but that's neither port nor starboard to the likes of ye, my hearties. Here be me honest bought Hessian sack, and fallen booty! All hands to the mizzen fizzen, ye scurvy knaves, it'll be the lash for ye. A swift sea shanty later, and now that the sail be held up right proper with a sturdy ship's mast, we'll introduce the trading company of this tale, Saltmarsh. You'll excuse the precautions, for Hessian is a Messian, and even laying that sack on the ship's capstan, and then on the jolly old Roger, I still had to swab the main deck clean a hempen bilge a good half hour after. If jolly old Roger thinks that's a ship's biscuit, he'll best needs tap a few weevils out of there first. Most of the weevils. Any left over is just added protein. Now recollect my words of warning, shrimpmates. This is no unboxing. It'd be more of an unsacking, as I removes a box from a sack. After that, to avoid spoilers of even this limited product, I'll be doing my anti-unboxing. If you want to see a proper unboxing of the Sinister Silver edition, you'll find plenty of instructional videos washing up on the internet's far shores. Beware the rocks. This box seems a bit light for its weight and temperature. You must beware heavy boxes, me hearties. Why, that rascally cove, the dread pirate Gygax, was felled by a weighty collection of first edition D&D tomes bound for Malta that rolled atop him in a storm just off Thaco Island. And that be a role-playing fact. But wait a bit. This box isn't merely empty. Why, it be a pirated. Who the devil shall pay for this villainy? Naturally, it be a pirated by myself, for dramatic piratic purposes. And I'd have gotten away with it too, if it hadn't been for them darn scurvy kids and their talking dog. A talking dog. Still, it be Dungeons and Dragons. Anything's possible. Jinkies. Here be the bulk of the booty, ye salty swabs. We sail a little close to the wind in Spoiler Cove, but nay, I shall show ye no more than that, lest ye risk turning to stone. For the arty prepared player handouts be carrying details of the adventure and plot that I have no wish to spoil, should ye navigate the waters of the mass market hardback as a player yourself. Suffice to say that the hardback book is broken down into 4 volumes for this limited edition. 3 volumes of adventuring, the chapter titles of which I've chosen to obscure, and the 4th volume of nautical appendices on matters seafaring and whatnot. Let us sail with the wind on the other side of caution, and reveal just a little of what's available in this here package. The Dungeon Master's screen be a joy to behold, with perhaps more than a touch of the pirate Wildcat Wyeth himself about it. Full fathom 5 is the depth of the cardboard's thickness, and it be a screen that'll have no trouble repelling borders. The inside of the screen I'll not show ye, for it contains diverse ludological charts and tables of interest only to the DM. As for stirring up an atmosphere, why, all you truly need for that is your imagination. I've worked passage in the bilges, and I've sailed on the brighter decks. You'll find something to amuse you in any location, and that's as true can be. Believe me, you mutinous swabs, when I tell you that the regular edition of the adventure carries the same capacity to entertain. If you need reminding that this purchase is a luxury, just open 6 or 7 tabs on your computer, all tuned to the page on Ghosts of Saltmarsh, for that is the price of admission, more or less. Aye, the screen works up a powerful atmosphere, and I'm happy enough to show it ye, spoiler-free. But it seems to me that the purpose of an unboxing is to help you decide on whether or not to buy a thing. In the case of a box that's limited to 1,000 copies, that can never be the aim on this or any other channel. This be not about fear of missing out, and it bain't be about helping you decide on a purchase of a limited thing. It certainly bain't be for preening like a peacock and showing loot that you could never lay hands to, for that is prideful folly and the wreck of many a pirate. Rather, I took a chance on a venture, and to let you know that you need none of this stuff to play a game of D&D. Why, Mr. Beadle and Dr. Grimm set the whole enterprise in motion to create the gaudy trinkets they themselves never had when they were knee-high to a beholder. I've played in dungeons that were made out of chessboards for lack of professional floor plans, with pawns standing in as waves of foes for want of metal miniatures, when the dungeon master's screen was the adventure itself, scribbled on A5 sheets and held upright to hide vital statistics, and adventure was had by all, just the same. We'd have killed to have those adventure books or that set of figures and maps such as this. There be no spoilers here, shrimpmates. For this map be no treasure map, it be a map or a generic ship on one side and a specific ship on the other. This side be the generic side. It bain't a canvas map or one painted on a scroll. Nay, for this be a lamia-coated map, for use with those fancy quills you can erase after the fact. Should come in right handy for arranging piratical contracts. Beg pardon, laminated map. No lamias were slain in the making of this video. Several crew members fell overboard, though. The first mate and sundry others. This sort of map needs flattening for video purposes, me hearties. Now that map is fresh out of the box and will need curing and stretching and flogging. And so, for now, there is a bit of light catching on the surface in distorted areas from the studio fog lamps, but that isn't much to speak of. An insurmountable problem for filming purposes is the inevitable reflection of the camera mount in the map's surface when filming directly overhead. Nothing to be done about that. 3-point lighting takes away the worst of the shadows. It's the small price to pay in exchange, having a spot of light glaring in. With a shift from the compass bearing to north by northwest, and a glance at the map from a distance at an angle more suited to showing the big picture, the light distortion and reflections fade. Now that I've not unboxed a piece of loot bought in for the channel, I must set sail on other adventures. This be a luxury item right enough. The silver editions be putting fancy items nearer to the hands of players who chip in as a crew to buy such fancy toys, in a way that is a mite harder with the more expensive platinum boxes. You don't need this booty. It's mine for video purposes on the channel, or else I'd never buy it. Now that I have bought it, I'm plotting a course to seize the next platinum box when it comes out, the Baldur's Gate booty I spoke of earlier. This spoiler-free loot I showed ye impressed me beyond my expectations, and so I'll sail after the heavy box on leaving port. That be my folly. But I see that it is the 5th bell of the 2nd dog watch, and I must away to arrange a mutiny. I misspeak myself, to prevent a mutiny, I meant to say. We'll have as a toast, shrimpmates. Here's a health to the king, and a lasting peace. To faction an end, to wealth increase. Come, let us drink it while we have breath, for there's no drinking after death. And he that will this health deny, down among the dead men let him lie.